I think I'm more than 6 feet away from everybody and we're outside, so I'll take my mask off. I was fogging up my glasses. You couldn't see anything. Let's see, we have some chairs up here and a bench if anybody wants to come join us a little bit closer. I'm going to switch the order just a little bit, just because we found out some good news right before, and it kind of makes it like a more of a celebration with it, and that's the way it ought to be. Starting back last spring, the chamber accepted nominations for the teaching award for the, let me get the name, our Gold Star Teacher of the Year, and Terry won that award, so that's pretty cool. Any of you that have met Terry know what I'm about to say, but I thought I would start by reading a little bit about Terry with the teaching award with it and kind of sum up some of the things in the nomination for Terry. Terry loves people in general and leads by example. He always goes above and beyond to help not just his students, but every student succeed. And that's echoed, I agree. One. Terry has a knack of remembering everyone that he meets by name and greets you with a smile that warms you to your core. All you had to do was to look like you needed something, and Terry would assist in any way he could to help get the task completed. Terry's gift was his true compassion for others. This was his passion, whatever he could do to help students. Every time I ran into Terry, he would always reach out with his big open arms with a hug and genuine smile. He made us feel special and appreciated. No words can describe the man Terry was. Terry was an incredible educator. There was truly no one like Terry in regard to his kindness, willingness to jump in and help wherever needed, and a passion for teaching. I will always remember him as an honorable person, teacher, and friend. This world needs many more Terrys in it, and I know that I'm grateful to have known him, just as many students have had him as a teacher. We wanted to start with that, and before the ceremony, they had a chance to receive recognition from the chamber, and so I think that sets the tone for the morning of this is truly a celebration of life. I would like to welcome everyone to our memorial service. We're recognizing 3 individuals from last school year that passed away: Jada, Dan, and Terry. All 3 of them made a great impact on our college, and we'll always be reminded by the gifts that they gave to us with 2 things, with our memories, but also the bricks that are placed in the bell tower patio here. I'm going to start by introducing our first speaker this morning that's going to say a few words about Jada. Jennifer Gillum worked with Jada in the Academic Affairs Office, and she's going to share some thoughts with us. Jennifer?
So I met Jada for the first time in 1998, and we had an instant friendship. Her big smile, her sense of humor, and her contagious laugh made you want to know her and be around her. You know, Jada did not like attention drawn to her, yet when she entered a room, you noticed her immediately. She was a great storyteller. Most of her stories would start out with sometime back in November of 1985. She had a very vivid memory of the events in her life, which always amazed me. She remembered all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly, the funny. If we were talking about a movie, she could tell you about when she saw it, all of the actors that were in it. And if you're trying to remember someone who worked at Crowder 15 years ago, she could tell you. Well, this led to great lunch conversations. I got to have lunch with Jada almost every day, and we covered all topics. We talked about Mexico beaches and palm trees and flip-flops and self-tanning spray and pickles, candy mints, episode of Cops, Rottweiler puppies. One day I was asked, "Where is Jada today?" Your lunch conversation wasn't nearly as good today without her. It is much better when she is here. And I agreed with that. Jada had a big heart. She exuded warmth, kindness, and generosity to everyone. If Jada heard that someone needed something, it did not matter if it was a person, a department, an animal, at Crowder, outside of Crowder, she would help them find what they needed. That is how she was built. She would leave a gift for no reason on someone's desk, or a coupon for something that she knew you or your kid would enjoy. When talking with Jada, she always made you feel heard. And I love one of her signature lines, "Oh, that's precious." And it was about something that she liked or loved. She also didn't take things for granted personally or professionally. She made the most of what she had, was thrifty with purchases, and helped spend and track money down to the penny on large grants at Crowder. So I'm going to leave you now with some words from one of our previous work study students upon hearing of Jada's passing, who said, "She was such a lovely person with an amazing spirit. We will always remember Jada."
Jennifer, thinking of the tracking down on the bills, every career and tech ed person here cringed a little bit when they saw Jada coming after them for receipts. Yeah. Darren, would you like to come up and say a few words? Just a few words.
Not really. So here we are. Dan was with transport training for 4 years. He was kind of a funny glue that held the department together. Funny because you can't tell whether it was Elmer's or super glue, but he was a jokester that kind of lightened the mood for the students and for the staff in times when we were busy and struggling to keep up with demand. He just had a way of relaxing everybody. He had some different faces that I can remember. One is probably looking down now with this sinister smile that he had. I think everybody transport training can relate to that when he had that grin on his face, he was coming for somebody with a joke or a prank. You had to look on both sides of you to determine whether it was you or the guy aside of you who was going to be on the receiving end. But it was always funny and well intended. He also had a look of sheer enjoyment and laughter when the students passed. When they struggled and they finally passed and got the job done, he was so happy and elated for them. It was very genuine and realistic. He also had a look that when he was frustrated that somebody couldn't do the job and couldn't pass and couldn't pick up the skills, he always say his chin kind of came out and his eyes withdrew a little bit. And he'd say, boy, I just can't get this guy to do it or this girl to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And I'd say, well, Dan, do you think, are they making any progress at all? And he'd go, no, they couldn't light a firecracker with a bonfire if they tried. So it was just, he was kind of new. But I guess the look I would always remember, but the look I'll always remember is when he was diagnosed. He came into my office and he said, asked him how he was doing, and he said, well, I got cancer. It spread everywhere. I'm going to die, but I've made peace with the Lord, and I'm ready to go. And it was very confident, very self-assured, very committed response. There was no wavering. And I really think he was at peace with himself and where he was going. I hope when that time comes that I could be so brave to go with such dignity in front of people. And so I think that would be it. Yeah.
Rick.
Since he wouldn't speak, it's okay to drop it on his foot.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's okay.
LaTanya, would you please come up and say a few words about Terry?
I was asked to say some brief words about Terry, and I'm not naturally brief, nor was Terry, if you knew him. And that was one of the hallmarks of our 40-year friendship that began at church with Terry and his twin brother Tracy and younger sister Jamie back around 1980, and continued through the years as a family friend because my husband was a classmate and good friend of Terry's as well. And my first memory of Terry was thinking how this cool teenager took the time to visit with a bratty kid about Michael Jackson music. But Terry loved to talk and meet people, and notoriously arrived late because he was visiting with all those along the way. A stranger, a new friend, a longtime friend, it didn't matter. He made each person feel valued as he intently listened with his whole face and attention. Or perhaps Terry was late because he was helping someone broken down on the side of the road, or with something. He was always striving to do good for others each day. And he genuinely was a servant leader in all the ways that Crowder values. Many people became acquainted with Terry in his 6 years here because of his helping with some project, either through his role as the construction instructor or often on his own time without pay. He put in countless extra hours on the solar house project and thoroughly enjoyed mentoring students and working. It was his gift of time, talents, and friendship that he freely gave to anyone blessed to have known him. It is a consolation that Terry can finally rest in the Lord. and that he is spared the divisiveness growing in our world. His sweet daughter Cheyenne told me that it would break his heart to see the way things are. Concluding with one of his favorite songs, Love and Understanding by Cher. Terry thought that most problems could be solved with just a bit more kindness, compassion, and grace. And we can honor Terry in our lives by heeding these lyrics. We could use some love to ease these troubled times. There's one thing there's just not enough of, not enough love and understanding. Thank you.
We've given each family a brick to remember this occasion by, and then there's also a brick that's been placed in the courtyard here with the bell tower. When after Terry passed away and we were discussing getting the individuals out to help with put the bricks in, my first thought was, if I had mentioned that to Terry, he would have said, I'll stop by tomorrow night and I'll put it in myself. He was just that type of guy with it. I would like to close with the official background on each individual from the college perspective, starting first with Jada. Jada started her career at Crowder in September 1995 as secretary. I'm going to get right through this, for the Even Start program. After leaving her position in Even Start, Jada worked for several areas in the college: cashiers, C-Tech administrative assistant to the vice president of C-Tech, before her last position with the college as Information Technology Department Help Desk Assistant. Jada held an Associate of Arts degree in General Studies from Crowder College. Dan Berkey. Dan started at Crowder September 2015 as a part-time transport training instructor and was promoted to full-time transport training instructor on January 15, 2016. Before coming to Crowder, Dan had worked as a truck driver in Pennsylvania for 10 years before moving to Missouri and continuing to drive a truck until coming to work at Crowder. Dan held an associate's in civil and criminal law from Mercyhurst College in Northeast Pennsylvania. Terry Clarkson. Terry came to Crowder in August 2012 as a part-time construction technology instructor and was promoted to full-time construction technology instructor August 2015. Terry held a bachelor's degree in trade and industrial education from University of Central Oklahoma in Edmond, Oklahoma, and an Associate of Arts from Crowder College. Before coming to Crowder, Terry was the masonry instructor at Northeast Technology Center in Afton, Oklahoma, for several years. Before that, he worked as a brick mason in Carthage, Missouri. To all three families, thank you for sharing the three angels that we've had with us. They've made an impact on our college. We'll never forget them. Thank you for being here today. Thank you again for the gift that you all have given to the college.